One old school Pokemon here, back again with the PokeFlipz premiere, joined by my usual co-host, Catch 'em All Collectibles, Dan. How are we doing tonight, Dan?
Doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Glad to be back with PokeFlipz after our little hiatus. All thanks to you. I was ready to
Yeah.
record last week, and you were on vacation or whatever.
Yeah. It did work out fine. I mean, we were talking pre-record. I would have just not slept. I would have sacrificed, but Nick was not willing to put in that sacrifice. He has to have his 8 hours of beauty rest every night. So yeah, we apologize for pushing back an extra week, but here we are. We'll probably talk about it more live, but the schedule is gonna bounce around a little bit over the next few episodes just to get back on track with our every 2 weeks from the normal thing. We're gonna kind of pack a couple episodes around Charlotte Collecticon to give you both pre and post coverage of that. But anyways, we'll get to all that later. We do have a few questions, and it's also the episode with no special guest following this premiere. So Nick and I will be critiquing / roasting / talking about an eBay that we chose from those who asked. But yeah, we'll start with question number 1, and I'll let you start, Nick.
So, PokeKid92. Question. I mainly sell singles under $20 and slabs on eBay. Is there a way to save 2 main shipping settings for each type so I don't have to edit those every time? Yes, there is, and I would highly recommend it for people who sell a lot of similar items, like in your case, selling singles and selling slabs. It's called they're called business policies, and you can set business policies up for your payments, your returns, and your shipping preferences. And so basically what it is you create a new business policy. In this case, it's going to be a shipping policy. And you enter in all of the information that you would normally enter in each eBay listing. So for example, for single cards, you could do eBay standard envelope for free shipping. You can add first class mail for $4, or I guess ground shipping for $4. You can add priority mail shipping for $10. That's what I have it as. You set your handling time, and then you click the little checkbox for eBay international shipping, and you save that as a business policy. Title it whatever you want to title it, and then you can do the same thing for your slabs. USPS ground for $4, priority mail for $10, so on and so forth. And then when you go to create your new eBay listings, every time you get to that shipping section, instead of having all of that information about the different mail classes that are available, instead you're going to have a drop-down menu where you can just select whatever business policy you have set up. So it definitely does save a lot of time on your end as you're listing stuff. You can just, if you're listing singles, you can just click your singles shipping policy. If you're listing slabs, you can click your slab shipping policy. So I would 100% recommend doing that. It does save a good bit of time.
Yeah, Nick covered it really well. I use like sell similar for the vast majority of what I'm selling, so it just defaults to the prior details. It just defaults to. So for a while there, I was not even utilizing business policies, but I have recently created them. I still need to go through and refine them. I need to go through and make sure all of them are being used and there's no excess. But yeah, I mean, you can have one for raw sub 20 eBay standard envelope, raw greater than 20 if you're going ground advantage. Then you can do them for like single ETB. You can do it for if you're selling ETB cases or booster box cases, like whatever similar things that are just always the same packaging, the same box, the same weight. Just use shipping policies, and it really streamlines a lot of it. So yeah, Nick covered that very well. Next question came in from Stuart. Do you guys think having a slightly overpriced but very rare collection or set listed on your store to attract clicks, watchers, followers, etc., that would be unlikely to ever sell would outweigh the side effect of lowering your sell-through rate? i.e., I think it would be EG. Example given, PokeRev $6 million complete WotC sealed boxes that has 10K watchers. I think overall, I guess if you only have 10 items in your store and 5 of them are drawing people in, you're really going to kill your sell-through rate when half of your listings will never sell. But if you have like 5 pieces of eye candy amongst hundreds of listings or 1,000 listings plus, it's probably not that worrying. The amount of times people will find you when they search high to low. They search Pokemon and search high to low, and they might go into your store and ooh and ah. Maybe you'll make a YouTube video. Maybe you'll be talked about in a Discord. Maybe you'll just get a random follow. I think overall there is merit to having some eye candy things, and you never know. Like I don't know. I'm sure PokeRev has a number. I'm sure if there was some, maybe Warren Buffett's grandkid decides that he has to own every WotC booster box, maybe some contact is formed whereby a deal actually gets done. Probably not at $6 million, but who knows? Like maybe you're actually able to sell an item. I mean, even though that one would be a project to replicate, that could absolutely be replicated. So if PokeRev were hit up with the right number, I don't know what the right number would be, but he would probably actually sell it too. So yeah, you never know like what DMs might get generated. You never know that you might actually end up selling something you didn't expect to. So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's an issue. Like you said, if the majority of your listings are like that, it's probably not the best idea. But if you have a decent amount of stuff listed and you have something cool in your collection that you want to show, I think it can draw attention to your store. I've thought about doing it myself with my No Damage Ninetales. I've just never gotten around to it, but I have thought about doing that in the past to kind of gain like followers, watchers, people clicking on that listing, going to see what else I have and all of that stuff. So I do think it can work as a strategy for increasing the views on your other stuff.
We had one final, not really a question, but if you want to start with this one, Nick, I think it was a good comment, and we can just maybe elaborate a little bit further from conversation from last episode.
So Poke Family Gaming 7723 says, I think the paying for graded cards thing is silly. I pay for a landscaper, a plumber, a drywaller. Some people have skills that they view as easy that others don't. No one calls you an idiot if you hire an electrician. Some people don't want to learn the skill of grading. I 100% agree with you on this one. I think it's a very, very good point, and I think we talked about this in last week's episode, or the week when we had Nostalgianomics on. I completely agree with you. I think us watching these long form buying, selling, investing YouTube channels about Pokemon are definitely the vast minority of collectors in the hobby. The vast majority of people in the hobby have absolutely no idea how to pre-grade their own cards, how to send cards off to PSA, CGC, BGS, whatever grading company you're going to use. They don't even know how to package in order to send those cards off. So for someone who's like a casual collector, has maybe a couple cards that they want to submit in their lifetime, I think it just makes so much more sense for them to pay that premium to get the card in hand. It's like the bird in hand is better than the whatever that expression is.
Bird in the hand beats two in the bush.
Yes, that one. So yeah, I 100% agree with that. I've been doing these eBay lives now, and there's a wide variety of people who are in those lives. You get people who really know the market, know pricing on cards, and know what to pay for the auctions that I run. And then you have these casual collectors who just see something that they really, really like, and they're willing to pay whatever it costs to get that card and to win that card. And one of the most common questions that I get in those live streams is, do I offer like middleman grading services? Because people want to buy cards and they want to get them graded, but they don't know how to get them graded. So they ask me if I offer that. And right now I've been telling people that I don't offer that, and to go watch YouTube videos if they want to learn that, or try and find another middleman to send cards off. But yeah, I think it completely makes sense that that people pay these massive premiums on even like modern cards that are fairly easy to get in PSA 10s and BGS 10s and all that stuff. Maybe not to the extent of some of like the premiums that you get as like the first copy that gets a 10. But I can definitely see a premium for that type of stuff for sure.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on that?
Consumers just spending money again. It's like, it's very easy to say, why would you go to a steakhouse and pay $50 for a steak when you can just make it at home for 10 or 15 or whatever it may be? Why would you spend money on anything when there's like a cheaper, more affordable way? Ultimately, everyone's an adult and they're choosing to spend their money in the ways they see fit, and yeah, whatever. The only thing I'd add is, like, if they are investing in them with money they don't have, obviously it's potentially misguided depending on what they're buying and this and that and all those considerations. But yeah, if their sole goal is profit and they're going to the lengths of like buying these crazy cards on credit and all that, it would still be I don't know, just getting in, like, if money's the sole intent, then they should be looking at like doing it themselves more so. But yeah, even that, it's like, yeah, whatever. Adults spending their own money as they see fit, and we need to, it's hard to put yourself in someone else's shoes because you are you with your mind, with your all your experiences and all your knowledge, and obviously us being so deep into this, it's so easy for us. It's so easy. How could everyone just not do it? Everyone does not have your experience pre-grading. Everyone has not submitted 20,000, 50,000 cards. So yeah, on that, I know on my channel it's a bit of a meme at times, mowing my lawn and some of the things that I do is actually reasonable for me to continue doing them. For the first time ever, I've actually been like paying to get my oil changed on my new car, at least. So I'm a very big like do-it-yourself guy. I get some kind of a it's not just a money thing, because even when the money doesn't make sense, I just get a sense of accomplishment and all that from doing it myself. But some people don't have that at all, and it's not unreasonable to just, whether or not you make more than you're paying someone else to do it, like it's your money, choose how you want to spend it, is what it all comes down to. And as long as it's as long as it's lacking any like crazy 2020 buying $1,000 jungle Eevees and Pikachus and things of that nature, like it's, yeah, it is what it is.
You used to change your own oil?
It's so easy. Like it's so, my dad is a mechanic, welder, fabricator. My dad's like a little bit of a DIY. He's a jack of all trades. He does a lot of different things. Tomorrow, actually, I'm putting an alternator in my wife's car because she told me the other day her car wasn't starting. So I went and I started. It started hard, like the battery was pretty much dead, but it barely started. Within 10 seconds of it starting, it smoked the belt, and the serpentine belt just fell off. So I think the alternator is seized up. Anyways, my car is like, my wife's car is dead in the driveway. For me to pay someone else to do that, you can't drive it. I mean, this is the belt for anyone who doesn't. I mean, I don't know cars as much as I probably should, having had my dad be who he was and what he does. But that powers like the coolant pump and all that. You can't drive without a serpentine belt. So I could pay a tow truck to tow it to, like, all said and done, it would probably be $800 or towards $1,000 to get it towed, to get it fixed, done at the dealer, wherever. But I like diagnosed it in my driveway. I called up Napa. My dad's gonna pick up the parts in the morning, and I'll just a couple $100 in parts. Buy my dad breakfast or lunch or something. Hopefully we get it done before PokeFlipz. Actually, now that I mentioned that, he's coming late morning. We should have it done. We should have it wrapped up by then. But yeah, I like the whole oil change thing. If you figure out the hourly, it was getting more to where it didn't make sense. And yeah, I'm definitely drifting towards doing certain things, hiring them out as opposed to doing them myself. But I'm still like a little bit at odds with myself. I'm still battling with myself over which things I want to outsource and which things I still want to get that sense of satisfaction doing it myself. So nice little ramble there thrown in on my own thoughts on these kinds of things. But that's it for the questions. Let's see if I can switch over. So yeah, Jay's Pokemart. Jay's Pokemart was the eBay that we've decided to critique. If you want to start, since I just rambled on there for so long, what have you got for Jay? I'm assuming his name's Jay.
Yes. I really like your eBay store. I thought it was very well put together. I was definitely impressed. I was trying to think of some critiques to give you, but I really couldn't think of anything, honestly. Starting off with like your homepage, I really like I really like how you have those banners there. That's something that eBay semi recently started, where you can have like certain categories highlighted, certain items highlighted. I have never been good about utilizing that, and I do think it makes your store look better. So I do recommend people utilizing that. And then I really liked your scans, your pictures, stuff like that. I liked how everything was uniform. I really like how you offer the multi-quantity discounts. You're currently running a sale in your store right now. I don't know if you always have that going, or if that's something that you just have going at this time. That's utilizing those kind of marketing strategies is really good. I noticed you offer free shipping, free returns. I think that's really good. I started offering the free 30-day returns myself. I would recommend it. Obviously, it is kind of a hassle. People can return something for any reason, and you have to pay the return shipping. But the number of times that's happened before to me, it doesn't happen as much as you'd think. And then the item specifics, utilizing all those item specifics, really good job. I'm actually really surprised you have all those item specifics. I didn't check I checked a few of them, and they all seem to be correct from the ones that I checked. But if you're entering all those item specifics for every single card, that is very impressive. Especially for all your bulky type cards. Great job there. That is nice. Yeah, I think overall you're doing a great job. Keep it up for sure. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Dan? You have any roasts to give him?
Well, Nick went with all the positives, so he's leaving the negatives for me, I guess. I did see that I hadn't checked it before we recorded. I
didn't even check that either. I saw you scrolling through it while I was talking.
It's a very nice no negative, but he got slammed with like 15 neutral from one guy. All one guy. Okay. You hate to see that, but thankfully they were neutral and not negative, because that would have been insane. But I contacted seller to check on my order status, but did not receive a response. Cards arrived later than the estimated delivery date. Things like that. I mean, who knows? It could have been on vacation. Could have been they left this. Like, I've had these eBayers where they send you 10 messages within 2 minutes, and if you haven't responded within 5 minutes after that, they're so upset. Like, how could you not respond to me within minutes, within seconds? So the whole estimated delivery date, you cannot control USPS. Your job as a seller is to just get it to USPS at the time you say you will, and then what happens happens. But yeah, thankfully they weren't negatives. But there was one thing that stood out to me. I don't know what's going on here, but when I'm here, the photos look really nice when I'm in the store mode. They take up the whole thing. But when I'm in this mode, and maybe they do this in my own store, I'm not even sure. But for some reason, they look like little tiny images here. Anyways, one listing that stuck out to me that I'm a little bit nervous about. I don't know to the full extent what eBay allows as far as these listings go. I've never been a huge fan, though. I've never been a huge fan of showing such high value cards. And I don't know that all these are super high value, but I do see the main hit cards from Obsidian Flames. And this is a bit of like a lottery style listing. 1 in 50 packs. I mean, I have no reason to trust or distrust you, but anytime that like trust is required in a listing, anytime that like is 1 in 50 packs actually getting that Charizard, I'm not sure eBay likes that. That's a little bit like Whatnot-esque. That's a little bit of yeah, I would just be cautious with this. Looks like only 4 sold. Maybe it's a newer listing, but I would personally pump the brakes on that style listing a little bit. I know I'm a guy who's saying that, and I have random graded card listings in my store and things of that nature. Where the difference is made, though, I do not have chances at getting something more valuable because you're selling this for $10. I don't know what that Charizard's going for today. I want to say it's at least 30, 50. I don't know if you know, Nick, where that's going for. But
yeah,
when you're selling,
30, 40 bucks.
When you're selling the chance for a $40 item to be in a $10 lot, that's just where the alarm bells start to go off. That's where potentially terms of service might come into play. And that's the only, echoing all the other positive thing Nick said. He just had to leave the negativity for me. Like, really liking the scans, really liking the uniformity of the listings, the item specifics. I've never seen better by anyone else. I don't know if you're using like Chat GPT or something. I've heard of some people talking about using Chat GPT to create their item descriptions, but the lengths you've gone in these descriptions to like describe each individual card is crazy to me. So yeah, props for all the listings, props for everything else. That's the only thing that I came across that I would be like a little bit nervous about. So anything else to add before we push everyone over to live?
No. If any of you guys have an eBay store that you want us to look over, talk about, promote, feel free to leave it in the comment section of this premiere. And we'll talk about it in a couple of weeks when we don't have a new guest.
Yep. Yeah, we'll talk about it more later, but we might run like back-to-back guests just to sandwich Charlotte Collecticon and get the pre and the post while everything is fresh. So if that happens, we'll stick with our tradition of just eBay critiques only non-guest weeks. So there could be like a 2-episode span where we don't do one and then we just bring it back the following. So stay tuned, I guess, for this week's PokeFlipz has shifted. One will probably shift again in the future just to get back on the normal track. So I think that's everything. We'll catch you over in the live.